Welcome to the Introduction to Inner Engineering live webinar. We'll wait for a few more people to arrive and we'll begin shortly. In the meantime, for those of you who have already joined, if you could type it into the chat box where it is in the world that you are tuning in from. Okay, welcome everyone once again to the Introduction to Inner Engineering webinar. Uh, it's wonderful to have you here this evening. So my name is Jennifer and I'm a full-time volunteer with Isha Foundation. Isha Foundation is a nonprofit public service organization that's dedicated to human well-being, founded by Sadhguru Jagi Vasudev, a yogi, mystic, and visionary. Isha Foundation was founded over 30 years ago and offering tools for well-being from the yogic sciences for over the past 3 decades. Isha Foundation is run by 9 million volunteers worldwide. And Inner Engineering is the flagship program offered by Isha Foundation around the world. So, what is this inner engineering about? Why is it needed? First of all, we've done much engineering to the outside world. Obviously, the purpose of engineering the world around us is to create situations and atmospheres as we want them, as it is comfortable and convenient for us. Especially in the last 100 years, we have done a tremendous amount of engineering to the outside world to a point where the very face of the planet has changed dramatically. We have comforts and conveniences that we could not have imagined just a few decades ago. What was unthinkable 100 years ago today is available to common people in the world. So this external engineering has definitely brought much comfort and convenience to us in every way. Physically, never before has another generation known these kinds of comforts and conveniences. Isn't it so? Yes? Yes or no? You are the most comfortable generation ever. Aren't we the most comfortable generation ever on this planet? Aren't we? Never before anyone has known these kinds of things. Everything has dramatically changed. Although we are the most comfortable, definitely we cannot claim to be the most peaceful or joyful or loving generation or anything like this. Definitely not the happiest generation on the planet, are we? We cannot say that. So, this external engineering, though much comfort has come out of it, in terms of life, it doesn't seem to have worked. So, everything that you are doing in your life, whether you're trying to earn money or build a family or build a career or fulfill your aspirations and ambitions, or you go to the bar or you go to the temple or you want to go to heaven. Why do you want to do all these things? Why? Why does everyone want to do everything that they're doing? To get what? If you can please answer in the chat box. Let's please make the session interactive. So if you could put your response in the chat box, that'll be great. Sorry, I'm having a slight technical difficulty in seeing my chat box responses. Please ensure that you are responding in the chat window with why are you doing everything that you're doing? Okay, so joy, happiness, to be happy, good experience, for peace, for happiness, to be happy. So it's to be happy, yes? People, you want to be happy, yes? So we have done too much, but still, happiness is a basic issue with people. So every activity on this planet is in pursuit of happiness, isn't it? All activity that you do, it's in pursuit of happiness, isn't it so? All human endeavor is in pursuit of happiness. And we have done too much, but still we are not any happier than anyone who was before us. Somewhere this activity that we're doing doesn't seem to have worked. Though so much is being done, still, happiness is a basic issue with people. So why hasn't this worked? There are many dimensions to this. First of all, what does it mean to you right now as you are? Like many people express about being stressed, which a lot of people are. If you ask them why, they say their job. You ask the president of this country, he's stressed. You ask the people at your office, they're stressed. You ask anyone on the street, they're also stressed. So, which job is there to do joyfully in the world? It looks like there's none, because everyone is saying their job is stressful. There is no job in the world which is stressful. You're stressed simply because you don't know how to manage your systems. That's why you're stressed. Stress is not happening because of a particular situation. Stress is happening because you don't know how to keep your body, you don't know how to keep your mind, you don't know how to keep your emotions, you don't know how to keep your energies. That's why stress is happening. Now, let's look at the mechanics of stress. Whatever happens in the mind, for every fluctuation on the level of the mind, there's a corresponding chemical reaction in the physiology always. If you go through a day of tension, today you go through a lot of tension, tomorrow you'll notice that your body is stiff and painful. Have you noticed this? Especially if you're practicing yoga postures or stretching exercises, you can very clearly notice this. Today, your body is very flexible. You go through a lot of tension. Tomorrow, you'll see that your body doesn't bend. It refuses to bend because the muscles have become rigid with acidic impurities in the cells. When these acidic impurities go on building up, these deep-rooted tensions become either chemical blocks or chemical deposits in the system, which can ultimately become a disease over a period of time. The word disease means dis-ease, or in other words, your body and mind are not getting the kind of rest or ease that they need. Today, medical science is saying that most of the chronic ailments are psychosomatic. That is, the cause of the disease is mostly in the mind. Whenever there's agitation on the level of the mind, similar agitated chemical reactions are happening in the body. There's a certain fundamental defense system in our physiology, which is known as the fight or flight response. In ancient times, when man lived in nature, the situations he faced in life were quite simple, or at least the response that was demanded from him was. For example, when he was walking through the forest, if he came upon a wild animal, let's say a tiger, the choice about what to do is quite simple. There are only two choices: fight or flight. That is, either fight the animal or run away from the animal. But today we've created a situation where neither of these responses is possible. For example, you go to your office. If your boss shouts at you, you can neither shout back, nor can you leave the office and run. Neither fight nor flight is possible. When the mind senses any kind of emergency or stressful situation, it activates the necessary system to release an emergency quota of sugar into the bloodstream. When there's tension in the mind, the body is being prepared for intense activity. If you do go through this intense activity, the extra sugar in the blood will be worked out. But in today's life, you live in a constant stream of stressful situations where no physical activity is needed. And this ultimately makes the whole system drive itself at a much faster pace than its natural pace. It is like if you drive your car at 50 miles per hour, the engine's life may be 100,000 miles. The same car, if you drive it at 100 miles per hour, the engine's life will be considerably reduced. Now, why is it that under the same stress, one person gets migraines, one person gets asthma, someone else gets diabetes? It is not that the disease is hereditary. The disease itself is not hereditary, but some part or organ may be inherently weak in you, just as it is in your parents. So you have the same tendency. So if your father had diabetes at the age of 50, you may get it at 30 because you're driving your system at a much faster pace than its natural pace. But this process can be easily reversed by changing the way you experience life or by moving into an effortless state of being. So do not ever think that your job is stressful. You're experiencing life in a stressful way means you lost control over your systems. Your interiority is not happening the way you want it to happen. That's all. See, what you call as engineering and management is just to create external situations the way that you want them. All engineering and all management in the world is just to create external situations the way that we want them. We can air condition our homes, our cars. We have the ability to control the atmosphere around us. Right now, wherever you are, wherever you're sitting, you can set just the right temperature that your body likes. Isn't it so? All right, we got some control over the external atmosphere. But what about the inner atmosphere? The inner climate is messy, isn't it? When the inner climate is messed up, it doesn't matter that you're sitting in an air-conditioned hall. It doesn't mean anything to you. Yes? Yes or no? It doesn't mean anything to you when your inner atmosphere is not good. So all external situations that you're trying to create for yourself are only to create a pleasant inner atmosphere. Isn't that so? Isn't it? I'll be asking you many questions throughout this webinar. So every time I ask you a question, I want you to look at it. If it's true for you, type yes into the chat. If it's not true for you, type no. Is that fine? Is it fair enough? Let's see. Okay, all right. So if the inner atmosphere is not properly managed, whatever external things you have won't mean anything to you. You earned $1 billion. It doesn't mean anything to you if your inner atmosphere is not good. So essentially, the quality of your life is not decided by what kind of home you live in, what kind of clothes you wear, what kind of car you have parked outside, but by how peaceful and joyful you are within yourself right now. Isn't that so? Yes. But have we paid any attention to this in our lives? We're too busy trying to create a pleasant external atmosphere for ourselves. So much time and energy has been invested in fixing the outside. How much time have you invested on fixing the interior? None, isn't it? And how do you hope to live well? See, if you're well by accident, you will always live with the fear of losing it. Most people are well only by accident. Someone around them is very wonderful, so they're okay. But that's not how it should be. If you happen to live in hell, there also you live well. That's yours, isn't it? Now, people are talking about going to the Himalayas and being peaceful. This is no good. if you can be peaceful in a busy marketplace, if you can be peaceful in a place which is full of problems, only then it's yours, yes? Otherwise, maybe it's the mountains and not you. And you can't carry the mountains with you all the time. So, fixing the interiority is a very important dimension for which we have not paid any attention. And the whole world is paying a huge price for this. Stress is not a part of your life, it's something you're creating unconsciously for yourself. You lost control over your systems, that's all. Now, if you had a choice, would you create stress? Would you? Let's see. No. But right now, your physical body, your mind, your emotions, your energies, none of these things are happening the way you want them to happen. And how do you expect to live well? People have some hope. It just won't work. Well, all of you are successful enough in your material lives, at least, to understand that unless you do the right things, it just won't work. Or do you still think that you can do some foolish things and say a prayer and everything will be okay? Do you? Do you think that can happen? No. You know that if you have to be successful in the outside world, you have to do the right things. Otherwise, it just won't work. And what makes you think this is not also true for the internal? There also, unless you do the right things, it just won't work. On a certain day, a man fell into the septic tank. I want you to visualize and imagine yourself in a situation like that. You fell into the septic tank, right up till here in filth, you know? He struggled to get out, could not. Then he started screaming, "Fire, fire, fire." The neighborhood people heard this fire call. They called the fire department. They came and looked all around. No fire. Then they found the man in the septic tank and they pulled him out. Then they asked him, "Why were you screaming fire?" The man retorted, "If I said shit, shit, would you have come?" So unless you do the right things, it just won't work. And as it is true for the outside, it is also true for the inside. Now, what do I mean by doing the right things? Let's start with your physical body. We could do a simple experiment. Keep all your 5 fingers together, palms facing downwards on your thighs, loosely placed. You can take a moment if you need to get in position. All the 5 fingers facing downwards, loosely placed on your thighs. What we will do now is, don't do it yet. With our eyes closed, we'll do a few inhalations and exhalations. Deep inhalations and exhalations. While you're doing it, I will say switch. When I say switch, turn your palms over. Again, when I say switch, turn your palms back to their original position. In these two positions, the way the air fills up in your lungs will be different. The maximum expansion and contraction will happen in different areas. I just want you to notice this. Please close your eyes and let's do this. Close your eyes and do deep inhalations and exhalations. All the 5 fingers should be together. Switch. Again, switch. Slowly open your eyes. Did you notice a difference in these two positions? Is there a difference in the way that the air fills up? What's the difference? Okay, some of you are not noticing a difference. That's okay. Okay. So when you hold it down, the maximum expansion and contraction is in the diaphragm region. When you turn it up, it's higher up in the chest. So try it and see. Those of you who didn't notice, do one inhalation and exhalation, turn it over and see. Noticeable? Just because you turn your hand over like this, the very way you breathe is changing. This is not only about the breath. The very way the life energies function in your body are altering themselves because you turn your hand over. How many times in a day are you doing this in unawareness? Now you're setting your energies in turmoil and hoping to be peaceful. Such things don't happen in the world unless you're doing the right things. It just won't work. It's like you got into your car not knowing what these two pedals are and keep kicking them, whichever way you like. Do you know what a jerky driver you'll be? But isn't this the way that you're handling your systems? One day you're a little peaceful. That's supposed to be a great thing. Next morning, you crash. Isn't this happening all the time? Any little thing can throw you off balance. Any little thing can make you lose your happiness. This is simply because you're trying to handle your systems accidentally. This is not only about the body, your mind, your energies. Everything is happening like this accidentally. Let's examine the mind. Just see how many of you can hold your right arm out like this. Just hold your right arm out, just out to the side. Just try this. Okay, good. How many of you can do this? Out to the front. That is great. How many of you can do this? Wonderful. You can do some yoga. This much control you have over your physical body. You want to get it here, you can get it here. This you can do, this you can do. Please try this with your mind. You want to put your mind here and hold it here for some time. It goes there. You want to put your mind here. It goes there. You want to put your mind there. You know where it goes. With this kind of mind, where were you hoping to go? If you've reached anywhere in your life, it must be an accident, yes? It's like if you get into a vehicle, you want to go here, but it goes there. Is it safe to sit in this vehicle? Is it safe to drive such a vehicle? If such a thing happens to your car, what is the first thing you want to do to it? The first thing. Stop it, yes? Somehow stop it. So we need to stop this for a moment. If you can consciously stop this for one moment, suddenly you'll see that the mind is a miracle. It can do such incredible things. Now, where is the manufacturing unit for all of the stress, anger, anxiety, and all the suffering that you're going through in your life? Where is it? Is it in your office? Is it in your downtown? Where is it? It's in your mind, yes? Now, this mind could have been a ladder to the divine. This mind could have been a source of ecstasy for you, but instead it has become a source of anxiety. Why? If your own body and your own mind are against you, then you better leave, isn't it? See, if someone is against you, what can you do? It's all right. Once you live in the world, someone will always be against you. Somehow, we go on. But if your own body and your own mind are against you, then how to live here? There really is no possibility, is there? The same is true with your emotions. They're not happening the way you want them. Energies, you're not even aware of what's happening with them. If you bring a certain amount of pleasantness to your physical body, we call this pleasure or health. If you bring a certain amount of pleasantness to your mind, we call this peace or joy. If you bring a certain amount of pleasantness to your emotions, we call this love or compassion. If you bring a certain amount of pleasantness to your energies, we call this blissfulness. Now, are you aspiring to be pleasant or unpleasant? Pleasant, right? But in the last 24 hours, how many moments of joy have you known? I'm asking how many moments of pleasantness in the last 24 hours? How many moments of true pleasantness have you known in your body and in your mind? How many? Let's see. Very few? One, two, three. Some of you have nothing to count. Suppose you were 5 years of age. You were a child. In 24 hours' time, how many moments of joy did you know? How many? Many, isn't it? So if at 5 you had many, by the time you're 30, you should have become ecstatic if life had progressed in the right way. But so much time, energy, money, and above all, the life of every other creature is being affected in your pursuit of happiness. Isn't it so? Yes? Yes? In the pursuit of human happiness, every other creature on this planet is going through untold suffering. Isn't it? Yes or no? The very life of the planet is being threatened. But if you're not even happy, what's the point? We will teach you a powerful Kriya called Shambhavi Mahamudra in the Inner Engineering program with a few preparatory steps. It takes just 21 minutes to do this practice, and it can bring a very deep and enduring state of relaxation on both the level of the body and on the level of the mind. Right now, what is the deepest form of rest you've experienced in your life? Let's see, please write in, what's the deepest form of rest? Sleep, yes? But you will see, this Kriya will relax you much more than sleep, much deeper than sleep. You might know this. Rest is the basis of all activity. How well you sleep tonight, that effective you'll be tomorrow morning. If you don't sleep tonight, tomorrow morning your effectiveness is considerably reduced because rest is the basis of all activity. When you are well rested, your activity becomes naturally good. It can improve your memory and power of concentration by almost 100% in just a few weeks of practice. Your sleep quota can come down. Your general productivity and efficiency can be enhanced. And like we looked at, chronic ailments like asthma, blood pressure, backache, headache, insomnia, allergies can be relieved. This sounds like a tall promise. How can inner engineering give me all these benefits? Now, about memory and concentration. Everything we perceive through our five sense organs, every sound, visualization, smell, taste, touch, is always recorded in our mind. Nothing goes unrecorded. Memory means to retrieve the right recording at the right time. This simply depends on how organized your library is. Right now, your memory is like this. You walk down the road and meet an old friend of yours. You remember every aspect about this person, his father's name, when he got married, where he went to college. But there's one thing you cannot remember. What is it? What is that one thing you cannot remember? His name. You try to recollect, but it isn't coming. You struggle hard and end the conversation. You go back home, there you are sitting relaxed, and suddenly remember, oh, that was John. This is not good memory. Let's say you go to the library and you want to find a book. There are 1 million or 10 million books in a heap. How long will it take you to find the book? You might never find it. But if you go to a well-cataloged library, you can find the book easily. When the mind has lost its calm, when it is in a disturbed state, whatever it records, it is difficult to recollect. When the mind is calm and alert, whatever it records, it is very easy to recollect. The same is true with concentration. The more you try to concentrate, the more the mind tends to go elsewhere. Do you remember how hard it was to concentrate on your textbooks? The harder you try, the more the mind tends to go elsewhere. Instead, suppose you're reading a love story or a crime thriller. Do you concentrate or do you read in a relaxed manner? Do you concentrate or do you read in a relaxed way? You're relaxed, yes? Now, if you have to take a test on this, will you fail? It's just that you may not be interested in most of the things that you're doing. When you're involved with whatever you're doing, naturally, you concentrate well. Let's say you're working 8 hours in a day. For these 8 hours, please see, for how many moments are you truly productive? And for how many moments are you preoccupied? Most people are not effective for more than 2 to 3 hours in the specified 8 hours of work. Rest of the time is wasted in unnecessary fluctuations of the mind and unnecessary movements of the body. But all this can be set right by keeping the body and mind well rested and by energizing the system with kriyas, which are powerful and purifying energy techniques that incorporate the breath. 21 minutes of Shambhavi Mahamudra can relax you much deeper than sleep. This may result in reduction of your sleep quota. But these are all just side benefits. They will anyway happen. The purpose of yoga or inner engineering is not to get rid of your asthma, blood pressure, backache, or headache. When you're in yoga, these benefits will anyway happen. Inner engineering is about working to create a right kind of inner situation. Right kind of inner situation can be understood in many different ways. For example, let's say you lost your peace today. If you lose your peace today, what will happen? You'll first go home and whoever is there, your husband, wife, children, whoever, you'll yell at them. You do? Does it happen? If it continues, tomorrow morning you'll go and pick a quarrel with your neighbor. If it continues, the day after, you'll go to the office and yell at your boss. When you yell at your husband or wife, people think it's normal. The moment you yell at your boss, everyone knows you need medical help, yes? So they take you to a doctor. Initially, the doctor tries to talk you out of it. You won't budge like that. So the next thing is, he pops a pill into you. What is this pill? A little bit of chemicals. If you put this little bit of chemicals into you, suddenly you become peaceful. Maybe not forever, maybe just for a short duration, but you do become peaceful. That's why people are popping pills. It's working. Maybe in a limited way, but it is working. Or in other words, what you call as peace is a certain kind of chemistry. What you call as joy is another kind of chemistry. What you call as ecstasy is another kind of chemistry. What you call as agony is another kind of chemistry. What you call as anxiety is another kind of chemistry. Fear, anger, stress, a different chemical basis to every human experience. Now we're talking about creating a certain chemistry within you, a certain technology with which we will create a certain type of chemistry within us, where being peaceful and joyful is just natural for you. It's not something that you pursue in your life. It is very natural for you to be peaceful and joyful within yourself. Are you interested? If you are interested, we invite you to attend the Inner Engineering program. And this can be done in different ways. You can attend the Inner Engineering online program, which is a series of 7 online videos, sessions that are approximately 1.5 hours in length. And after you complete the Inner Engineering online program, you're then eligible to attend the Inner Engineering completion program, where you can learn the Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, which is the practice that we spoke to you about earlier in this webinar. Another way to attend this program is to attend a 4-day Inner Engineering total program. These are happening in city centers throughout the world and throughout North America all year round. You can go to innerengineering.com to find the schedule for these different programs, for the Inner Engineering online program and also for the Inner Engineering total program. We have the rare and wonderful opportunity that Sadhguru is going to be conducting the Inner Engineering completion program here in North America coming up this spring. He'll be conducting the Inner Engineering completion in Atlanta April 25th and 26th, and in San Mateo, California, May 16th and 17th. In order to participate in these programs where Sadhguru himself is conducting, one must complete the Inner Engineering online program first in order to be eligible to do that. There are different types of discounts available for seniors, groups, students. You can see the website innerengineering.com for more details about these discounts available. And I'm going to need to check and see if there are any other questions or information that we want to share with the participants and group who are online now at this time, as my chat box is still frozen. Are there any questions that anyone has? So the group discount is available for groups of 2 or more. And for pricing, you can go to the innerengineering.com website. For the Inner Engineering Completion Program with Sadhguru, the group discount cost is $425. And again, this is for 2 or more people who want to attend. The cost of the online program is $150. The special offer expires on February 15th. The current fee is $450. This will expire on February 15th, and then the full fee will go up to $575 at that time. So if you are knowing that you want to participate in the program, please do go ahead and sign up before February 15th to make use of that discount. Question come up. I checked on the online classes and it seemed I need to be in India. No need to be in India to do the online program. That can be done from anywhere in the world. So if you go to innerengineering.com, you'll see the different ways that you can access the Inner Engineering program itself, with the online option being there as well. And you can do the Inner Engineering Completion program anywhere in the world. We have them happening here in North America, as mentioned, the 2 events happening with Sadhguru this spring in Atlanta and San Mateo. So the cost of the completion program, just as mentioned, it will be $450 until February 15th, and then the full fee for that will be $575 after that. The Inner Engineering programs are also happening in a retreat format at the Isha Institute of Inner Sciences in McMinnville, Tennessee. That's the main center for Isha Foundation within the United States. The retreat programs, it's an immersive program, it's a residential program, 4-day program, where you can go and enjoy the Isha Institute of Inner Sciences, which is on 1,300 acres in the Cumberland Plateau. It's a gorgeous piece of land set in the Tennessee mountains, where you can go and experience the Inner Engineering program in an immersive way, as I mentioned, and also make use of everything that the Isha Institute has to offer, which includes consecrated spaces. These are spaces that are energized in a particular way that makes you naturally meditative. Simply by going and sitting in them, you'll naturally be able to settle into meditation without having to do any kind of practices. So truly a wonderful resource this is here in North America. The Isha Institute of Inner Sciences is open 365 days in the year. If you would like to visit, if you'd like to go and stay, just please call ahead to ensure that there's accommodation available for you. But certainly day visits are also welcome as well. For the Inner Engineering Online program and also for the Inner Engineering Completion programs, there are continuing medical education credits available for physicians, nurses, and massage therapists. So for physicians, for doing the completion program and the online program, one can obtain 23.5 CME or continuing medical education credits, and nurses can obtain 23.5 continuing nursing education credits. Massage therapists can receive 19.5 continuing education credits for participation in those. If you are interested, please do see the website. There's boxes that you can mark to indicate your interest in making use of those. How is the Inner Engineering online program differing from the Inner Engineering Total program? So the Inner Engineering Total program contains all of the aspects of the Inner Engineering class, including the Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya practice. The Inner Engineering Online program does not contain the Shambhavi practice itself. It has a couple of guided meditations and practices, but it doesn't contain the Shambhavi. So that's the difference between the two. And again, if you complete the Inner Engineering Online program, you are then eligible to complete in the Inner Engineering Completion program, where you can go ahead and learn the Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya. The completion program is only a 2-day program versus the 4-day Inner Engineering Total program, where you learn all of it. So it really helps to, if it's a challenge for you to get away for too long, if 4 days is too long to be away from family or any kinds of things that you have to take care of, the Inner Engineering Online program gives you the freedom to go through the discourses and go through these sessions at home on your own, in your own space, at your own pace. And then if you want to go on and learn the Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, you can come for the Inner Engineering Completion program. And it's only a 2-day experience, over the course of a weekend. So, taking care of work schedule and all that can be handled. So the question about lodging for the Inner Engineering Retreat program at the Isha Institute of Inner Sciences, it's included within the program's cost. So please, if you want to go ahead, go to the innerengineering.com website. You'll find the Inner Engineering Retreat option there in the pull-down menu. Go ahead and click on that, and then it will give you more information about the lodging and the lodging options that are available and the pricing for those. It's good the Inner Engineering retreats do have a tendency to fill up, so it's good to book those ahead of time. Will we learn the Mahamudra at the retreat? Yes. So the Inner Engineering retreat includes all the aspects of Inner Engineering, including the Shambhavi Mahamudra. So the format that does not include Shambhavi Mahamudra is simply the online sessions. But the Inner Engineering Total, Inner Engineering Retreat, those include the Shambhavi Mahamudra and the Inner Engineering Completion, of course. Are there any other questions? Okay. I'm not seeing any more questions in my chat box, but it was really wonderful that you all could join. And we very much look forward to seeing you at the Inner Engineering program with Sadhguru in Atlanta, April 25th and 26th, also, or at the program in San Mateo, California, May 16th and 17th. What is the next schedule for inner engineering completion? After that, we don't know when the next inner engineering completion programs with Sadhguru may be happening. So again, if you're feeling inspired, if you're feeling that like this is something that you would like to pursue or take part in, please do. Is the total program just more of the complete? So just to clarify, the total program includes both the things that would be learned in the online format, and then also the Shambhavi Mahamudra are all concluded in the total program. Okay, so having a feeling that online program will not help me. Any advice that might change my mind just because it's not face to face. So the Inner Engineering online program is designed by Sadhguru. It's an incredibly intimate experience, actually, going through the videos with him. The way he's designed it and how he imparts it makes it feel very, very much that it is just you and him, as if you're having your own program with Sadhguru himself. It's it's a tremendous, tremendous opportunity and possibility. Through the online sessions itself, can be a very powerful experience for a person. So, I mean, other than having done it myself and gone through it and found it very impactful and found it very, I think I also had the same question before I did it. How can this be something through an online video interaction that could be, something of significance? And it blew away all my expectations. So the online program is an incredible possibility. And because Sadhguru's doing the best that he can to make these tools available to every single human being on the planet, uh, and so the inner engineering online format helps it be available to anyone, including people who somehow can't come to a city or a location where the in-person programs are happening. So it's incredible opportunity to experience Sadhguru, to experience what he's offering right in your own home, right in your own space, right from your own device. So inner engineering online can be a really powerful, powerful experience. Okay, so we're just now about coming up to the 1 hour mark. So again, it was wonderful that you were all able to attend. It was wonderful to be with you. We look forward to seeing you soon at one of the inner engineering online or inner engineering programs. Thank you very much.